All right, I'm going to get started in lieu of time. I know folks are just getting in the room now. Welcome to the Brooklyn Technical High School Virtual College Fair. So incredibly happy to have you here. You are going to be hearing from 6 amazing institutions, and you have an opportunity to learn about these institutions and also ask questions. But this part is important, so I'll also throw that into the chat here in a few moments. But if you have a question for any of these panelists, any of these institutions at any time, please use the Q&A button at the top or bottom of your screen. So again, the Q&A is going to be the only way you'll be able to get an answer during this session because they cannot see or hear you. Second, I always encourage that you pay attention to what's going on in that chat. Our panelists are going to be throwing important information in there, particularly their contact information. You can sign up for more sessions. There are more today, and there are more for the next few days. A lot of these institutions will be available the next few days. And a recording of this, everything in the chat, Q&A will be available at strivescan.com/Brooklyn and Brooklyn Tech. I will throw that into the chat as well. But again, our panelists cannot see or hear you. Please utilize that Q&A, ask thoughtful questions, and more importantly, take down their contact information so that you can get a hold of them in the future. All right, and with that, we are going to kick it off to Stony Brook University.
Hi, everybody. My name is Christina LaFaso. I'm a senior admissions advisor at Stony Brook University. Thanks for all for joining us tonight. I have the Dean of Admissions, Judy Moran, in kind of the background answering your questions in the Q&A feature. So just make sure that if you do have questions about anything that I speak about, that you can go ahead and put those questions in the Q&A. But we'll go ahead and get started with just some general information about Stony Brook. We are a part of the SUNY system, as are all of the schools that are here today. We're one of the 4 university centers within the system. So we're located in the downstate area in Long Island, on the North Shore, about halfway out on the island, about a 90-minute train ride from Penn Station. And we do have the Long Island Railroad train station right on our campus, making us very easily accessible to students from the city in all 5 boroughs, but really drivable as well. Our main campus is about 1,100 acres, so you get that nice big campus feel at Stony Brook. And we're about 18,000 undergraduate students. We are moderately sized, so you really are going to be joining a great Stony Brook Seawolf family if you decide to attend and enroll at Stony Brook. The campus itself is quite beautiful. It's everything that you think of when you think of a college campus, and you're seeing an aerial shot right now. But everything from an academic mall to multiple libraries, lots of classroom buildings, a Stony Brook arena, a football stadium, a recreation facility, lots of different residential life quads, and you'll see a lot throughout your experience of perusing Stony Brook throughout the next year. Now, we do have about 200 different academic programs for you to choose from. I'd say just over 100 of them are in the STEM field, and that's what Stony Brook is really well known for. But I'd like to make sure that you are all aware that we are not just a STEM school. We do have a lot of other majors in a lot of other areas, and in fact, the university is made up of different colleges and schools. College of Arts and Sciences has everything from our art programs, studio art, music, theater, film, creative writing, but it also has our general arts or liberal arts general education programs like English, anthropology, gender, women's and sexuality studies, Africana studies, Asian studies, and a lot more. It also houses our physical sciences and social sciences, things like biology, chemistry, biochemistry, psychology, sociology, even political science and linguistics. So there's a lot in that college, making it the largest. Our College of Engineering and Applied Sciences is the most competitive and restrictive in the university and does take higher academics to achieve consideration for that college. It's got everything from biomedical, mechanical, civil engineering, engineering science, computer engineering. It's also got applied sciences like computer science, which is our most competitive, as well as applied mathematics and statistics and information systems. Our College of Business and School of Journalism each have 1 degree in them, our business management and journalism degrees, but both of them have various specialization areas to really tailor your degree into that particular area within the realm of business or journalism. Our Marine and Atmospheric Sciences houses a lot to do with the environment, whether it be marine biology, marine vertebrate biology, sustainability studies, environmental design policy and planning, and so much more. Our School of Health Technology and Management is for those of you interested in the health sciences area, either clinical or non-clinical, whether you want to deal with patient care or not. And it leads to a lot of our master's degree programs like physical therapy, physician's assistant, occupational therapy, and athletic training, and so much more. Our School of Nursing and our School of Social Welfare are upper division programs, meaning you apply for those programs while you're already a Stony Brook student. We are known as a research institution, so I do like to bring up our Eureka office, which will assist students in finding research, not only on campus, but off campus in a multitude of different facilities, like the Brookhaven National Laboratory or our Marine Research Center. So they'll assist you in finding research or assisting you in finding funding and authorization to do your own research. We also have study abroad, internships, jobs, shadowing and observation opportunities, and a lot of experiential learning on our campus. Now, if you are interested in living on campus, it is not required, but it is guaranteed for freshman students for all 4 years. You would be one of over 10,200 students that live on campus in any given semester, making us the largest residential population in SUNY. And we have multiple various styles of living that you can choose from throughout the 4 years at Stony Brook. Now, you do apply with the Common App or SUNY app. Common App for your school, transcripts, test scores, we're not sure yet, and this goes for all SUNYs here. We don't know if we're going to be test optional yet this year. SUNY has not made that decision, so just make sure you check back in with us before you start applying to see if we're test optional. Now, January 15th is our only deadline. Early decision, early action do not exist at Stony Brook, okay? So January 15th, have your applications and all your materials in order to gain consideration. Now, what you're looking at is the fall 2020 class profile of the middle 50% of our admitted class. So they fell between a 92 and a 97, had between a 1240 and a 1420. You can see we admitted around 49% of our students and comes from a diverse background. So we do pride ourselves on having a very diverse class and supporting that through our classes, clubs, organizations, and a lot that goes on campus. That concludes my presentation. So I just wanted to be mindful of time. If you guys do have questions, make sure you go ahead and put it in the Q&A. I'm also going to put some information in the chat for you. As Christy mentioned, my email's in there, how to make today an official visit, and all the different ways of learning more about Stony Brook.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have SUNY Farmingdale.
Hello, everyone. My name is Scott Davidson. I'm an admissions advisor at Farmingdale State College. I'm just going to present my screen in the interest of time. Can everyone see?
Yes.
Okay, great. So welcome. Oh, sorry. Okay. I don't know what is that. Okay. So anyway, my name is Scott Davidson. Welcome to Farmingdale State College. We have a little over 10,000 students at Farmingdale, 46 undergraduate programs. We do have a master's degree program in technology management, which is a continuation of mechanical engineering. We're located a little closer to the city than Stony Brook. We're about an hour away by train, and there's a train station very close to campus that students take for internship opportunities, for leisure. But we do have a shuttle service that'll take you to the train station. It's about a 5-minute drive. So very close. We have very small class sizes at Farmingdale, 20-to-1 student to faculty ratio. We were founded in 1912 as an agricultural school, but as the area around Farmingdale developed with it. And we've moved to our STEM program, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We're considered a technology college within the SUNY system. So a lot of our programs center around STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. In our School of Arts and Design, we have horticulture, interaction design, landscape development, and visual communications, art and graphic design. In our School of Criminal Justice, we have police courts and corrections, criminal justice, law enforcement technology, and security systems. In our School of Business, we have applied economics, applied mathematics, business analytics, business management, global business management, professional communications, sport management. So there's a lot of different areas that you can go into business at Farmingdale. Our all-encompassing business program is business management. So a lot of students that are looking to go on for an MBA program, that's a great starting point. You're going to learn marketing, finance, accounting. So it's really an all-encompassing business program. As far as computers, we have a lot of different programs at Farmingdale. We have computer engineering technology, which works mostly with hardware, building a computer from the ground up. A lot of Farmingdale's programs are applied learning. So everything you're going to learn in the classroom, you're going to actually apply it to real world scenarios and situations. So if let's say you're learning about the computer on Tuesday, you're actually going to start building the computer on Thursday. So it's very, very hands-on learning at Farmingdale. We have computer programming and information systems. That's more software instead of hardware, like computer engineering. We have computer science, computer security technology, protecting against hacking, learning how to ethically hack. That's cybersecurity, geographic information systems, and security systems. In our School of Engineering Technology, we have aeronautical science, professional pilot, architectural engineering technology, automotive, aviation administration, civil engineering technology, construction management engineering technology, electrical engineering technology, industrial technology, facility management, manufacturing engineering technology, mechanical engineering technology, and technology management. Just as a side note, my dad actually graduated from Farmingdale in mechanical and manufacturing engineering, and he's been working in aerospace for over 30 years. So a lot of what you learn in some of these programs is very transferable to other areas of engineering that you wouldn't even think of. That's something to think about when considering Farmingdale. We have in our health and wellness, School of Health and Wellness, we have applied gerontology, applied psychology, bioscience, dental hygiene, health promotion and wellness, medical laboratory science, nursing, and nutrition science. Nursing and dental hygiene are our most competitive programs at Farmingdale. We only admit 50 incoming freshmen each year to those programs. So if you think about deadlines, January 15th is the deadline for both of those. But as I'll go into a little bit later, the deadline is May 1 for everyone, for most of our other programs. We have in our multidisciplinary studies or undecided, we have liberal arts and sciences and science, technology, and society. For students that are not really sure what to do, what to jump into, we have those programs for students to look into. A lot of students actually have a job before they graduate Farmingdale. So 90% of students are working full-time or part-time after graduation. So there's a lot of great outcomes for students. We have a lot of internship opportunities at Farmingdale. As far as general admissions requirements, we require an 85 GPA. For most of our programs, nursing and dental hygiene, and some of our other competitive programs, we're looking for a 90 or higher, and the application deadline, June 1. If you are ready to apply, you can apply using the SUNY app or the Common App. A lot of students will choose the Common application because you can apply to both private and public, but both are a $50 application fee. And the only required document is the high school transcript. Everything else is recommended, but not required, including SAT and ACT scores at this time. As far as student support services, we have Academic Advisement Center, a Nexus Center for Applied Learning and Career. We have pre-health professions advisement that'll help students get their application ready for med school. So there's a lot of opportunity at Farmingdale. If you have any questions for me, I'm available in the chat, but you could actually take a picture of the slide. That'd be a good idea. We are available by phone 934-420-2200 or admissions@farmingdale.edu. We'll definitely get back to you as soon as possible. But if you have any documents to send to us, you can email admissions.processing@farmingdale.edu. Thank you for having me today.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have Geneseo. Oh, you're muted.
I'm on mute. Sorry. Hi, everyone. How are you guys doing? I'm Victor. I'm from SUNY Geneseo. I'm going to share my screen now so that we could just get the ball rolling. Just give me 1 second. Sorry, I was on the last slide first, and you see a big picture of my face, and I don't think everyone wanted to do that. Everyone wanted to see that at this moment. Okay. 1 second. Okay, well, it's going to happen anyway. So, hi, everyone. I'm going to go backwards then. My name is Victor. Like I said, I am the New York City Admissions Counselor for SUNY Geneseo. I'm also an alum of Geneseo. I also grew up in New York City. I also attended a specialized high school. So I feel like I can answer most questions about whether students, coming from New York City, going out there, specialized high school, going to Geneseo. So please feel free to put the questions that you might have in the chat box, and I'll get to them. But just to kind of do some quick hits as far as, where we are, that's kind of the first question everyone asks. We're about 5 hours away from New York City. We are close to Rochester, New York. You can see that on the map on the right-hand side. This is just average travel times by car. We're kind of considered one of the smaller SUNY schools. We're about 5,000, now it's about 5,200 students, which I know is smaller than your high school. We are one of 64 SUNY schools, and I think majority of us or all of us are here from SUNY. But you can see some of the statistics as far as our rankings or our student fee or our different ratios. So you can definitely take a look at that on the screen. But I'm just going to keep moving forward just in the interest of time. This is actually our science building at Geneseo. Obviously, this is all the science that's in there. But as far as academics goes, we have 50 different undergraduate degree programs, 27 interdisciplinary minors. Probably a good, literally half of our students probably have a second major or a major and a minor. So our students are really well-rounded when they come as Geneseo students. And like I said before, because we're kind of a smaller school, our average class size is around 24 students. It's really between 15 to 30 in general. And none of our classes are taught by teaching assistants. They're all, or the majority are of faculty with a PhD or another sort of terminal degree. I'm going to give you a kind of a second just to take this whole thing in. I know there's a whole bunch of majors and minors and whatever. So this is a list of all of our majors and minors and pre-professional programs. As far as like pre-professional programs go, on the right-hand side, you can definitely see that pre-law, pre-med, pre-vet, these are all they're not majors, they're just track programs. And then we have co-op programs, which means that you'll see two numbers there. The first number is how many years it'll take to study at Geneseo. And then the next number is how many years it'll take to complete the program. So we do have a few co-op programs, and for sure, if you have any questions, you can definitely ask us about it. I think a majority of SUNY schools do have that. And we do have a small graduate degree program. They're really housed under our School of Business as well as our School of Education. So obviously businesses with accounting, and then with education, it would be our reading and literacy, as well as our adolescent education master's program. So like I said, feel free to screenshot this. I painstakingly typed all this out. So please reward my efforts by screenshotting it, I guess. The formatting was a little funny. But moving on, as far as like some of other, besides academics, we have over 200 clubs and organizations at Geneseo. We are Division III, and I think everyone here, except for perhaps Stony Brook, is probably Division III. Division III means that you just come, you play for the love of the game. Unfortunately, there's no athletic scholarship for it. We do something called Geneseo Late Night Programs. Geneseo Late Night Programs are our weekend program planned for our students, and there's always fun things to do for our students and our weekends technically start on Thursdays. As far as like a different area attractions go, we're not too far away from Rochester, Buffalo, Syracuse, and you can see that here. I know we're kind of a little further away from New York City than some people might be comfortable with, but we do have 3 surrounding cities that students can take part in. We also have some local nature. Canisius Lake is not too far away. Letchworth State Park, which is absolutely beautiful, also known as the Grand Canyon of the East, is 7 miles away. So if you're athletic, feel like you're up for a jog, you can definitely jog there. If not, you can definitely drive there. It's very close. As far as like admissions goes, this is our school profile for the class of 2022. It's our average GPA 9295. Our average SAT score is between 1170 and a 1300, and our average ACT score is between a 24 and 28. We are test optional, and we hope to be test optional, but at this time, because of SUNY and whatnot, we had no idea. I just want to throw all those numbers out for the sake of transparency. As far as like other materials needed, we take the SUNY application or the common application, and then the rest, obviously, your college, the college office at Brooklyn Tech will take care of you, but you can see all the things that are necessary to complete your application. We have kind of a unique thing. We have a parent statement at Geneseo, which is kind of like a recommendation from your parents. It is unique. So if your parents have anything nice to say about you, or if they have anything nice to say about you, that's definitely a cool thing that I enjoy reading. And then you can see the deadlines that we do have on offer as far as like early decision and regular decision. So sorry, I'm just trying to move forward with this. And then, so that's it. This is my contact information. I'll put all my information also in the chat, but I really appreciate the time that you've given me.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have Cortland.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Super happy to be here with you this evening. Excited to see all of my colleagues. And to introduce myself, my name is Kalia Banks. I am a senior admissions advisor. And today I get to talk to you really quickly about SUNY Cortland. I'm going to put my information up again, so you will have the opportunity to take it down. So just to give you a really quick overview of SUNY Cortland, yes, we are a university college, a part of the SUNY system. So we are definitely a comprehensive college, medium-sized school. So we are that perfect environment where, you know, you won't necessarily feel like a little fish in a big pond. We're more like a medium-sized fish in a medium-sized pond, right? That's the, I would say, the feel that our students get, where you're walking around campus, you might see someone that you know, but it's large enough where you feel like, you know what, I'm on a college campus, so this is awesome. Every year, we bring in a freshman class. It's usually a little over 1,300 students. And for our transfer students, a little over 500. Our average class size is 23. And our student to teacher ratio is 16:1. Something that I didn't share about Cortland when I was introducing myself was that I actually am a Cortland grad and I love Cortland with all my heart. I'm super excited about sharing that experience with students. And so this right here is coming from a student perspective, but also from a professional perspective. And I just literally being from Brooklyn, New York, right? Just like many of you attending Brooklyn Tech, you actually may experience coming to some of our campuses. So Cortland is actually about 4 hours away from what we call home, right? There's no place like Brooklyn, there's no place like the city, but we are about 4 hours north, and that's if you're driving. Many students might get to us different ways. So if they drive, if they take a plane, if they take their car, a bus, so forth. So we actually are in a nice area because we're in the middle of the state, but we're really close to Syracuse, Ithaca, and also Binghamton. And our students, if they are in our campus town, they really find that they literally have almost everything that they need, from a local movie theater to some really amazing restaurants to if they want access to Syracuse, which is more like a New York City environment, you have the opportunity to go up there and check out Destiny USA in Syracuse, which is one of the largest shopping malls. So, you know, you'll have resources to things that you might be familiar with as a New York City resident, but it's definitely very different from the city. We are a campus that has a geographically diverse population. So students from 33 different states and 54 different countries. We received a revitalization award for our downtown area that I talked about. And actually, currently, our downtown area is really nice. So imagine what that looks like as we continue to implement that. And so students love the town. There's so many things that you have access to. And if you want to check it out some more, you totally can through the website. Our admissions criteria. So what are we looking for? We need our students to have that 3 to 4 years of English and 3 or 4 years of English and social studies, but also 3 to 4 years of math, science, and foreign language. So many of you have that, but what you really want to know is, okay, what is our average GPA? That is between an 86 and a 92. And of course, we are considering the rigor, right? Are you challenging yourself? Are you going beyond those limits? So know that we're really looking at that as well. When you are looking at the total cost, you're going to find that amongst the university colleges, this is about the estimated costs, right? So a total of $25,000. Of course, we have merit-based scholarships, and we also have what we call applied to or endowed scholarships that can assist students with the costs to come to Cortland. Now, I did see a question that was in the chat that talked about clubs and organizations. This was my favorite part of attending SUNY Cortland, right? You need that happy balance between your academics, but also your social life, right? Are you feeding that part of your experience at college. So this was the part that really sold me when it came to going to SUNY Cortland. So the main office, one of the offices as far as the clubs that I want to talk about is the Student Voice Office. This is the organization that kind of oversees our clubs that fall under multicultural life and diversity. So the Black Student Union, La Familia Latina, Women of Color, Men of Value and Excellence. And also there are clubs that fall under dance, music, the media, politics, your major. So all of these things, and you can see that in the picture right here of different aspects of our campus that students get involved in, from having their own radio show to joining a sorority or fraternity to even getting involved in our Division III athletics. And let's say you don't want to be a varsity athlete, we have club sports, we have intramural sports, and literally anyone who goes to SUNY Cortland always is super excited that they are a Cortland Red Dragon. So if you want to learn more, you definitely can check out the website there. Res Life and Housing students, majority of our students do live on campus. Freshmen are required to live on campus for the first 2 years, and living on campus is honestly the experience that you will never forget. There's nothing like it, and it is a really awesome time for you to grow, get to know people, and so forth. We have 17 residence halls on campus in all different styles: suite style, singles, doubles, quads, apartment style. So it definitely is a great environment. So this is our pride and joy that I really want to talk about. It's our Student Life Center, multi-million-dollar facility. This is all about student wellness. We have a swimming pool, jacuzzi, racquetball courts, tennis ball courts, game room. We have one of our all-you-can-eat dining facilities in here. We have our weightlifting equipment, exercise classes, and so much more. So, and even an elevated track that goes throughout the entire building. So for a Division III school, this athletic facility is pretty phenomenal. And our athletes, of course, have a separate facility. Dining, we have 10 dining options. 2 of them change their menu day to day. And there's so much. If you have dietary restrictions, you definitely will have access to that. The last thing I want to share with you are majors. If you guys want to check out which majors we have a wide range of majors. We are heavily saturated in teacher education, but we also have some other options as well. Here are deadlines. Screenshot this. These are suggested. We do review by date of application. And here is my information. So if you want to connect with me, please feel free to do so. I'm also going to drop my info in the chat. Feel free to connect with me, and thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have Maritime.
Hey everyone, just 1 second, pull it up. Cool. So my name is Alex El-Halou. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions, EOP International Coordinator at SUNY Maritime College. We are located in Bronx, and that's in the Throgs Neck, South Bronx, underneath the Throgs Neck Bridge. You can see some of the dormitories, our federal ship, and our athletic center and our fields. We are the smallest SUNY out of the 64 campuses. We have about 1,800, closer to 1,700 right now, but every year it fluctuates. We have different type of lifestyles, which I will go into in a little bit. And that's the difference between regiment and civilian lifestyle, while all students are civilians. But I'll talk about that in a little bit. We are a small institution, so that means our class sizes are very small. So about a 15-to-1 ratio. So every professor that you will have within the first week, they will know you by your name. So you're getting that personal interaction with your professor and really understanding the material that you're in. We have 5 A-BET accredited engineering courses, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Altogether, we have 13 nationally recognized programs, 13 Division III sports. I believe we're getting a couple more later in the year, and we have a bunch of different clubs and activities for students on campus. If there's a particular club that you want to start, like most institutions, you and 9 other students and a faculty member or a staff member can create a club. Usually that happens sometime in October. So different programs that we offer, again, 5 different engineering courses that are all A-BET accredited. So A-BET accreditation is an accreditation that's given by the Engineering Commission. So it's kind of a big deal when you're looking at engineering programs. It's also a Bachelor's of Engineering. So it's the highest level of engineering you can get at a bachelor's level. So having Bachelor's of Engineering along with A-BET accreditation is kind of like the golden ticket when you're looking at careers within engineering. So we offer electrical facilities, marine engineering, mechanical engineering, and naval architecture. We're one of 6 schools in the country that offers naval architecture as a degree. It also combines engineering with design. So it's a really cool degree. And within all of these degrees, you're getting real life exposure to that career that you'll be working in once you graduate. So for example, naval architecture, your last course, you and 3 other students are in a group and you have to design a ship and get a blueprint for a ship and get it approved by your professor. So it's pretty cool. If you don't know which engineering program you want to go into, but you decide that, you know, you want engineering, usually not until your junior year does your courses start getting really specific, so you can kind of jump around a bit. We also offer a bunch of different bachelor's of science programs. So 3 different business degrees. They all deal with the shipping industry and e-commerce, so a lot of the logistics and operations. We offer marine and environmental science as our science degree, where you can focus in on either meteorology and oceanography or marine bio. We also offer maritime studies, which is really the history of the maritime industry, right? So maritime, we're thinking about ships, we're thinking about ocean, we're thinking about e-commerce. Then we also have an associate's degree, which is called maritime technology, and that really deals with a lot of the smaller vessels. So different type of lifestyles on campus. Every single student has the opportunity to be within the regiment of cadets. Certain programs will require you to be either on the civilian track, which is really the internship track. So think of like the traditional college student that will go to school, wake up anytime they want, wear pajamas if they want to go to class. But part of your academic degree, you're required to do an internship. 1 internship for Bachelor's of Science, 2 for engineering. Usually students will do an additional one. And this is really important because when you're coming to maritime, starting from freshman year, you're building up that resume. So by the time you leave, you already have plenty of job offers, which most of our students get. A lot of our students get it before they leave, but usually between 3 to 6 months, about 100% of the students are employed within their career. So difference between job and career. There's also a track of getting the U.S. Coast Guard license, which kind of sets us apart from most schools, because to get a license on your own, you need about 1,080 days on a ship by yourself. If you go through an academic program, you need 360 days. On our federal ship, every day counts as a day and a half, so you only need 180. And we do that through 3 summers, which is pretty cool. You go to different domestic or international ports depending on the year, and you can get either a deck license or an engine license. So deck, more navigation, engines, more engineering exposure. So one of our programs offers, it's a business degree, and it offers engineering license associated with it. And students will tend to go for that degree to get the business side of a degree, while getting some engineering exposure and kind of getting that backdoor into engineering jobs. So you kind of have some different options. We accept either the SUNY or the Common App. SATs right now, we're SAT optional. What goes into the future is really what SUNY dictates. So standard stuff that most SUNYs will look for. Engineering, we look for at least pre-calculus. That has never changed. That will never change because the first math class you take is calculus. We look for about a 90 GPA on average. And for Bachelor's of Science, about an 85. That this profile is a little bit higher because that's our pool from the previous year. And the application for the fall 2022, early decision, which is binding, is November 1st, and regular decision is January 30th. This is a little bit about our EOP program. We do offer it. We offer about 20 to 25 seats a year, depending on the year and funding. Academics are into that program is a little bit lower. It really depends on the household income. This chart, if you want to take a screenshot of it, this is for every SUNY. So every SUNY follows this chart. But I'll give you guys my contact information. This way, if you have any questions, you can follow up with me, either do a Zoom or send me an email or call. And if you are in the area, we are hosting in-person tours, and they're ongoing. So you can just check the web. So thank you guys. It was a pleasure to speak.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have SUNY Oswego.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emmanuel Cruz. Everyone calls me Manny. My pronouns are he, him, or his, and I'm actually a counselor here in the Office of Admissions. I'm also a proud SUNY Oswego alum. For those who are not very familiar with SUNY Oswego, we are a comprehensive college just like SUNY Cortland. We are the 6th largest 4-year SUNY school, located 5 hours north of New York City. So far enough that you get away from your family, but close enough that you can make that journey right back down to New York City. Considered one of the most residential SUNY schools, with the majority of all our students living and staying on our college campus. Most of our students seek us out because they're looking for that traditional college environment. They want to live in community. They want to have that residential experience. They want the dining experience and all the immersive clubs and organizations that we have on our campus to support our students. Our campus occupies a mile of Lake Ontario, so it's not an ocean that you see in the background. That's Lake Ontario, so one of the major lakes. So beautiful campus setting throughout the entire year. It does get a little windy and cold in the winter time, but something you could definitely get used to as an undergrad student. Our campus has undergone major renovations, $1.1 billion in brand new academic and social space. So you're going to find a lot of renovated residence halls, academic buildings, state-of-the-art facilities to help support our students as they continue their educational path and experience here at the campus community at Oswego. So just because we're limited on time, I'm going to keep going with our campus tour here. But we are in central New York, right in the middle of the state of New York. So if you're not familiar with New York State, on the far right side, you'll see a map. So it's easily accessible. You can fly up into Syracuse, take a bus from New York City, Greyhound, Megabus, Amtrak trains. We have our own buses that transport students back and forth. You are allowed to bring a vehicle as well. Our student population is 8,000 students, 6,800 undergraduate, with 17:1 student to teacher ratio and an average classroom size of 24. We're primarily a liberal arts and science college, so it's okay to not know what you want to do. In fact, 15% of our first year students are undeclared, undecided students. We have over 130 majors with over 260 minors and concentrations to choose from. So we have 4 schools: College of Liberal Arts and Science, the largest school at Oswego by far. Most popular majors, especially for our Brooklyn Tech students, tend to be things like computer science, our computer electrical engineering, which is focused on robotics and nanotechnology, our software engineering degree, our zoology program, because it's the only one in the state of New York. We see a lot of students pursuing things like linguistics, philosophy, especially philosophy, politics, and economics for our pre-law students, English, literature, creative writing. School of Business is ACSB accredited, one of the highest accreditations, wide range of programs. Popular majors for our Brooklyn Tech intake students tend to be things like finance and accounting. Accounting is also a 5-year program at Oswego. Third School Communication, Media, and the Arts, nationally well known as one of the best colleges in the country for broadcasting and mass communication. So you see yourself being on TV, on the radio, excellent opportunities in there. Popular program for our Brooklyn Tech students as well. And things like graphic design, theater, music, and theater, audio recording and production. And our last and founding schools is School of Education. As a traditional college that really focuses on that college experience, the moment you set foot on our college campus, you're immersing yourself in a really diverse campus community, with 40% of our students identifying as non-white. You're going to find a lot of clubs or organizations to support you as you undergo and kind of become a member of this campus community. There's over 200 clubs and organizations for you to involve yourself as an undergrad student. You'll also find that there's a lot going on. 96% of all our students stay on campus every single weekend. So when you're coming and joining this campus community, students are really looking for that residential experience. They want to have things going on campus. So you're going to see things like color runs. You're going to see pageants on campus. You're going to see activities within the residence halls. We have 14 residential communities on campus with 5 dining halls serving 6 meals a day, 10 restaurants on campus for students to go and enjoy, like Starbucks and Tim Hortons on campus. So there's something going on campus and support you as you undergo your college experience with us here at Oswego. When we're thinking about costs, very affordable campus, $22,754 a year. We offer very generous scholarships that range from $500 up to full ride scholarships, especially from Brooklyn Tech. Usually, you guys are the #1 in New York State for us for the percentage of students that get full rides, so attend SUNY Oswego. 95% of our graduates are employed or go on to graduate school at the completion of their degree, and 90% of graduates find jobs in their chosen field of study, which is extremely important as you think about your college experience. Applying Common App, SUNY App, just like my SUNY colleagues, the average GPA varies because we look at everyone holistically. So we're going to look closely at that personal statement, letter of recommendations. your extracurricular activities, because they're important. Because if you're joining our campus community, we want to see that you're going to be someone that's going to be active and contribute back to this campus community. So on average, the student had around the non-weighted GPA of a 90, average SAT of a 1200, 24 on the ACT. We're also an EOP school, so we have about 130 spots in the EOP program. And the average for those students was around an 86 GPA, 940 on the SATs. So thank you so much for your time, and hopefully we'll get to see you guys on campus or visit on the fall. We are open for visits in the summer if you guys are in the area. Thank you for listening.
All right, thank you. If I could have everyone back on screen, please. Going in the same order that we've presented, starting with Stony Brook, if you could please answer, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
I would definitely say to have a general idea of, even if you just want to go and live on a school's campus, if you want it to be in New York State, these super general thoughts really whittle down the number of schools that you're going to be looking at. The number two thing I would say is talk to your parents if you have not done so already, and figure out what kind of financial situation that you and your family have. Now's the time to have that really weird kind of conversation with your parents that you may not have had already, to determine what the tuition range that you should be looking at is. Not everyone can afford to go to a $60,000 a year school. And that's where all of these wonderful SUNYs come into play and really create this really nice, affordable kind of financial success right from the start, right after you graduate school. So those would be my two suggestions.
Next is Farmingdale.
So my suggestion would be, if you're undecided and you have some interest in some of these programs, to pick a school that has the program that you may want to enter into. So a lot of students don't really know what they want to jump into, and that's fine. But I would say that if you have some interest, to look into a school that at least offers that program. So somewhere down the line that you could change your major into, let's say, education or engineering. My second piece of advice is to definitely try to visit the school if possible. I know that it's really hard right now with the coronavirus to get on campus, but if you could attend a virtual college visit, that would be at least something to start to get a sense of what campus life is like. So those are my two pieces of advice.
I think I'm next, right? So what I would actually say is, if you have any questions about the college, the school that you're interested in, I think you can definitely talk to us. I think that's kind of my piece of advice. As you can see here, we're not scary people. I'm speaking on behalf of myself. I'm not a scary person. So I just, we're approachable. So if you have any questions, I feel like you can, I would hope that you would feel comfortable with asking. About our schools, our experience with the school, our experience with working with students from your school, going to our college. So that's kind of what I would really encourage you to do, or we are obviously real people. And having that human interaction definitely is key when you're deciding on what school you want to choose to go to for the rest of your 4 years. I was gonna say rest of your life, but for 4 years.
Absolutely. And we're all not scary, Victor. Victor just called us so scary. But either way, what I second everything that my colleagues mentioned, but I definitely want to challenge you to continue to diversify that college list. Connect with us beyond this session. There's so many different things that our campuses have to offer, whether it's a virtual tour, whether it's actually coming onto the campus. You want to really get a feel for the school that you're investing the next 4 to 5 years of your life in. We are definitely encouraging you as a student to connect to us and even go beyond your academic limits, right? We understand that you've been in a really challenging time. And so if we see that you continue to apply yourself to your academics, that truly stands out to us. So, and don't be afraid.
Yeah, so just to piggyback off of what everyone said so far, I mean, college can be a scary thing, not knowing where you want to go because you're investing the two most important things, your time and your money. But connect with us, like ask us questions. You know, we were in your spot before. We were trying to get into college, and you know, we're all friends, so we will look out for you and kind of direct you in the right way. If you maybe not the best fit for us, or we're not the best fit for you, but we may know a school that is. So try to go to the campus if you can. Try to do the virtual tour, but definitely try to connect with an admissions counselor.
I agree with everything everyone's mentioned. I think important to think about fit and kind of taking a moment to self-analyze. What are you trying to get out of your college experience, and trying to find the institutions that kind of match up to what your expectations of your college experience are. I think we all have certain majors in mind, but what are the social aspects of college that you are looking for? What type of student are you looking to be around? Are you trying to be in a very diverse campus community? Are you trying to be in a residential community? Some students, when they visit my campus, they go, "This is too residential. I can't do this. I need to be in a bigger city area with more urban community environment." And that might be something to think about, and have a conversation with your family. Also, how far are you willing to go away for school?
I think those are all great pieces of advice. I always like to plug, but I think this was plugged a lot already. I don't think any of you are scary, so I do think that all of the folks out there should certainly contact you. That's what I usually like to plug is, you've heard from these great folks tonight. If you have interest, contact them. Their job is to see if this is a good fit for you, to find out if the environment is good for you, to find out if they offer what you're interested in. So contact these folks. When you leave here, there is a quick survey that we'd appreciate if you took. Sign up for more sessions. There are more tonight, and there are the next few days. So make sure to sign up for those. A recording of this is on our website, and I threw that all in the chat as well. Best of luck to those out there looking where they may fit for their college experience. And thank you so much to our experts, our panelists, and have a good night.